And we welcome you into the Unrivaled Postgame Show. 12th ranked Penn State defeating Rutgers today by a 27-6 final score here on Senior Day from Beaver Stadium. The Nittany Lions outscore Rutgers 17-0 in the second half. And here on Senior Day, Brian Tripp, delighted to be with you for the Unrivaled Postgame Show for our live exclusive coverage here after the game. And we're joined by offensive lineman Hunter Norzad. And Hunter, we talked throughout the course of the week about the topic of getting ready to play here today. What allowed you and your teammates to come out and set the tone and establish your identity in this game, especially with that ground attack running for 234 yards?
I think the biggest thing was that we were very confident throughout the week in our game plan, and we knew that we just wanted to come out here, and since we were prepared and confident, we could go out, play fast, have fun, and I feel like when you play like that, then you get good results like today.
What did you like about the ability to run the ball offensively against a really good defense that Rutgers has?
I mean, I think it just kind of shows our toughness as an offense. I mean, all respect to Rutgers, they have a very tough defense. I mean, they've been good all year, and so I think just the fact that we were able to do that really reflects how our offense can bounce back and be productive and be tough and be able to just kind of grind out those runs.
Drew obviously had some success running the ball. Then when Bo comes in, everyone knows what he can do with his legs. What does the quarterback run game do to add an extra element, an extra dimension to that offense as well?
I mean, it just adds somebody that the defense has to be worried about. You know, if you have a quarterback who can only throw the ball, then they're not even considering him as a runner. They'll do different stuff. They'll be able to play the runners and the receivers more intently. And so when you have that extra wrinkle, it really allows you to do some stuff, you know, get away with some stuff you couldn't otherwise.
I want to ask you about playing in Beaver Stadium and Senior Day today, but how fortunate, I thought, you know, we talked about it on the radio broadcast all day long, the game that Chop Robinson had on the defensive side. How fortunate is it for you when it's game day, you don't have to go against a guy like him and the rest of that Penn State defense?
I mean, a lot of respect for our defensive line. Yeah. I think that everybody knows how good they are, and, you know, just having to go against them every day in practice and every day in camp. I think it kind of tunes you up. But we are grateful that we don't have to do that on every Saturday.
Well, we talked to you during the week on Wednesday during the Unrivaled weekly preview show about what today meant for you, why you play football, and why it's such an emotional day here on Senior Day. What was the moment like, not only coming out and being introduced before the game, but then to see that 60 minutes play out and end the way that you wanted it to with a 27-6 win?
I mean, it was really special. I think that, you know, it means a lot to play here, and getting that little moment before the game, as well as being able to just play the game the way that we did was really special, and it's just a really great way to go out.
Well, Hunter, congrats on a great win today, 27-6 over Rutgers. Appreciate the time as always.
Thank you.
Hunter Norzad joining us here on the Unrivaled Postgame Show. Penn State defeats Rutgers by a 27-6 final score here in front of a great crowd at Beaver Stadium today. You see that angelic sunset here at Beaver Stadium, just absolutely terrific. Let's listen in quickly to head coach James Franklin as he's addressing the media.
And then obviously, you know, when Drew got hurt and Bo came in, it opens up some things in the run game for you. It just, you know, you're able to do some different things there. We were planning on playing both of them anyway. We started out early. We've had that plan the last couple of weeks, but we called it earlier. And we planned on playing both of them, you know, really kind of throughout that game. So you know, I thought when Bo came in, he did some really nice things, and I thought Jaywan and Ty adjusted well.
So head coach James Franklin addressing the media just said that he felt like Jaywan and Ty adjusted well with the play calling as Bo Prabula came into this game in the third quarter. Drew Aller goes out, and we're joined by Ty Howell and Jaywan Sider here on the Unrivaled postgame show. Coach was talking about that, the adjustment that you have to make when you have a quarterback change out of necessity in this one. What were some of the things that were going through your heads as you designed that offense and the play calling as Bo came into the game and really executed well there in the second half?
Well, we always go with a game. We have a Bo package every week, but it was good to get him in and let him operate too. And you kind of see how the game changed when he opened up a lot of run lanes. I know the running backs appreciate some of the stuff he was able to do with his legs, takes a lot of pressure off, and then I kind of let Ty chime in too on it.
Yeah, I think obviously you think about what he does well, and how we can, accentuate his strengths and how it helps our offense. And he did a great job operating and doing the things we asked him to do.
What is it about that quarterback run game that forces the defense to account for someone else? We saw Drew effective with it in the first half, but then obviously with Bo in the second half. What is it about that quarterback run game that adds an extra dimension to the offense?
Well, it's like the safety in the run game on the goal line. You get an extra guy in the box, but now in the open field, the offense get an extra guy running because now you can get a hat for a hat, and now that safety that's high, he's responsible for the quarterback if he's 15 yards, so you get him a head start on running. And it just opened up a lot of stuff. Now that they got an apex guy to Sam and the free safety guy to come down, and you just open up pass lanes behind it. So it just changed the game. You make DNs who want to squeeze and try to take it out the quarterback hand. Now, do you squeeze and let the running back get it, or you squeeze and let the quarterback pull it? So it gives us a chance to get the ball on the perimeter and just open up more holes for the guys.
I have a feeling I might know where Ty's going to go with part of this answer. Running for 234 yards against a really good Rutgers defense today. Quarterbacks, running backs, the offensive line, and the way the tight ends were blocking out there, what allowed this offense to set the tone at the line of scrimmage with their ability to create those holes.
Yeah, I think it always starts with having that physical mindset, and it starts up front with our O-line and tight ends and our blocking unit. And so they did a great job, just doing their jobs. I mean, that's the big thing we preached all week is like, hey, whatever you're called to do your job, do it well. And so they played that way. They played with an edge, and that was fun to see.
J1, Coach talked about the collaboration throughout the week. Do you feel like operationally you were able to quickly get into a rhythm, collaborate, and that this group was able to come up with a really good plan and then to see it, how it executed smoothly on game day?
I think the best thing me and Ty did is we opened up our staff and used our resource we have in that room, and no ego aside, didn't make it about us, make it about everybody. And I think we was able to limit the package. It allowed our kids to play fast. It allowed our kids to not freeze up in moments, and everybody understood the game plan. Like, you could ask the receivers what the run checks were. You could ask the running back what the pass checklist were. It allowed our kids to not think. We didn't want to make it like we go reinvent a new offense. We just wanted to do what we do and just do a little bit better than we have in the past, and I think that's what our kid did this week for us.
Well, we can't let you go, and Ty, we'll let you comment before we let you out of here on that Penn State defense as well. When you're playing complementary football and you have a guy like Chop wrecking a game and coming up with those turnovers, and then Falcons belting through some big field goals today, the complementary football aspect, how did it all come together, especially outscoring Rutgers 17-0 in the second half?
Yeah, I think obviously for an offense, I mean, a great special teams and a great defense is your best friend.
Yeah.
And, and those guys having our back and us having theirs. And so it played a big part in the win today. I love watching our defense play, man. They get after it. Chop was fun to watch today. And, so we appreciate that. And we just want to play complementary football and help them and keep them off the field. And all that contributes to the win and success.
And a great pick there by KJ Winston for that Penn State defense. 27-6 the final score here today. He's going to join us. That's why we're chuckling. He's going to join us here in just a moment. Well, let's rejoin Coach Franklin's press conference. Guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And got to him and, hit him just right. But, he was really good as the game went on. I thought his leadership was phenomenal on the sideline. But it's like anything else, right? Whether it's football, whether it's business, whether it's offense, whether it's defense, it's all about risk-reward in everything we do.
Two more, Audrey, and then Pat.
Hey, James, going back to Drew for a second, do you have any update on his health moving forward? I know it's early, but have there been any tests done, and what is kind of his status at this point?
Yeah, as you guys know, I know. I guess you have to ask. At least that's what you guys tell me. But I'm not going to get into medical stuff. First of all, that wouldn't be appropriate for Drew. That wouldn't be appropriate for his family. But yeah, I don't see this being significant. But we will see. We will see. It's very hard for me to answer that question, even if I wanted to, a couple hours after it happening.
James in the
Shane
back.
Franklin talking to the media, wrapping up his press conference. That full press conference is available here after the game on gopsusports.com if you want to check it out after our Unrivaled post-game show. Well, we both just heard KJ, Ty Hal, and Jaywan Sider talking about your interception out here, the defense making big plays throughout the game, coming up with those red zone stops, but also the turnovers, Chop in his play, Deny, and obviously the interception that you had. How important was it, once again, to play with that attack mentality and find a way to make a big play on the defensive side?
Yeah, we feel like on defense we can help our offense out by putting them, flipping the field for them, putting them in good position, to set up their drive. So our best thing is, scoring on defense or putting our offense in a position to score. So we came out there with the mindset we're gonna have to come out here and contain them to as many as least as we can and flip the field for our offense and put them in good position. So we put the game plan together. I'm stuttering a little, but
It's
Coach
excitement
Manny's
from senior day.
Yeah, did Coach Manny's game plan, and we did a good job doing it.
That's because you're watching the highlights here of those turnovers today. There's Chop coming off the end. Just a game-wrecking play at a big spot, too. It's a one-score game, 7-point game at that point, and then the defense was able to take over. We saw your interception, and that came on a 3rd and 22. I know part of the game plan against Rutgers is it's a team that likes to run the football. When you have them in an obvious passing situation, as a defensive back, you have an opportunity to make a big play.
Yeah.
So here it is. What are you looking for as you jump that route?
So the play was we were disguising our coverage. And I seen the sticks. Normally I'm supposed to drop to the sticks, but I look at the sticks and it's way, all the way back there.
22 yards downfield.
Yeah, so I'm not going to drop all the way there. So I know as soon as, our corner blitzes, he's going to try to get the hot throw to the wide receiver, which he tried to do, and I just broke on the ball and made the play.
Well, that's playing with instinct, and that's playing with knowledge of your defense and playing at the collegiate level. As your game continues to evolve, we've seen you making plays up at the line of scrimmage, but how have you grown, not only in the physical aspects, but a mental aspect where you can make a play in a read like that?
Yeah. Just understand the game. Each week it gets better and better. Just thinking back to my first game coming in, totally different mindset coming into games. Now I'm thinking about the plays I'm going to make, imagining the plays I'm going to make. At first I was going out there making sure I didn't mess anything up. But now it's a big difference, going out there, being comfortable with the guys, knowing the game plan, in and out. So just understanding what we're doing and why we're doing it is just making me a lot more comfortable and allowing me to make those plays.
Why was the defense so effective against the Rutgers run game? Rutgers just 99 rushing yards. You obviously know what their quarterback can do with his legs, and then Monongai's a terrific running back.
Yeah, we watched film all week. Very physical team, very disciplined team, and their quarterback and their running back, much credit to them.
Yeah.
Watched film on them throughout the season. Great players, very powerful players that have finished their runs. And there was times where they were finishing their runs, falling forward, and we had to be more physical, try to be more physical and things like that. So, we talked about it all week. This is a team that we're going to have to stop the run against, and that's going to be their main thing. They're a great team running the ball. So we try to get them in passing situations, earn the right to rush the passer and lead to those things like interceptions and things like that. So much credit to them. That was our main thing coming in the week. So we just did our job like Coach Manny had us do, and then that's what we got.
Final thing, home finale, senior day, to make sure you end this the right way for that senior class and a group that means so much to this football team. How important was it to send them out the right way and then also showcase a great performance for these fans one last time?
Yeah, for these seniors, they set the culture for the whole team. The way they live, the way they go about things, they set the standard for everybody. So the way they have been all this season, they were great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ask for a better, more leaders than those guys, great guys to be around, very, good people. So it was just, we had to send them out on the right note, send them out happy, they earn the right to, go out on a good win and a win like that. So I'm happy for all of them.
KJ, congratulations on a great one. We'll see you in Detroit.
Thank you.
KJ Winston joining us here on the Unrivaled post-game show. Penn State defeats Rutgers by a 27-6 final score here at Beaver Stadium today. Just a complete performance, especially in that second half. Run through some of the numbers here really quick. 322 total yards for Penn State, 234 on the ground, holding Rutgers to just 99 rushing yards. Penn State 4 for 9 on third downs today, and 6.1 yards per carry for Penn State. And then that defense, 3 turnovers, 7 tackles for loss, and KJ Winston, a big part of that with his pick today. Kobe King led the defense with 10 tackles and a half tackle for loss here today. Let's go back through all of the highlights from this one as Penn State defeats Rutgers 27-6. Senior day at Beaver Stadium, always an emotional day. You know how much this group means to this football program. KJ Winston just talking about that. Penn State improving to 9-2 for a guy like Olu Fashanu coming out of the tunnel one last time. What a year Adisa Isaac has had, and they all meet with their head coach. It's a family environment, a family culture. Keandre Lambert-Smith, Hunter Norzad, who joined us here on the show, all meeting head coach James Franklin, had an opportunity. There's Tank Smith. Love Tank Smith. Obviously a relative of Terry Smith, and just Coach Franklin and the families of these teams talk about the culture of the program, how much it means to wear the blue and white, and how they grow and develop these young men in their program, not only on the football field, but away from the football field for a guy like Sal Wormley coming out of that tunnel one last time. Here on Senior Day, there is the group. What a special group it was, looking for a special performance. And in the opening half, Penn State comes out of the locker room. Head coach James Franklin leads them out onto the field. Penn State takes the field at Beaver Stadium one last time this year. Opening half, slow start, Rutgers 3-0 lead, but then the Penn State ground game gets going. Katron Allen punches it in. That completes an 8-minute 15-play, 75-yard drive. Allen finds Pater, and Penn State takes its first lead of the game, 7-3 Nittany Lions. Here, one of the first takeaways of the day. In fact, the first takeaway for that Penn State defense. Denied Dennis Sutton hops on the football. The Penn State defense all day, locking all windows and doors here against the Scarlet Knights. 7-3 Penn State in front, second quarter. Drew Allard, his tight end, Tyler Warren, over the middle. Warren, a couple of catches, 32 yards today. Theo Johnson had a couple of catches. That sets up a short Penn State field goal, and Alex Felkin's perfect there. And it's now a 10-6 Penn State lead as we head to the second half. And there is that defense. Talked about Kobe King, Abdul Carter pressuring the quarterback, making Wimsatt uncomfortable for Rutgers. Bo Perbula into the game now, replacing the injured Drew Allard. Takes off down the sideline, scampers for 39 yards. This drive would stall out. Penn State trying to convert on fourth down, could not. Rutgers would get the stop, but it left Rutgers with terrible field position, and there goes the Penn State defense. Chop Robinson darting through the gap, tackle for loss. Penn State would take over, great field position, and Alex Felkins into the wind. 48 yards. He buries it for Penn State, a 13-6 Nittany Lion lead. And from that point on, Penn State dominant in this football game. Robinson off the edge, buries the quarterback, knocks it out, recovers the fumble. A big game for Chop Robinson here at Beaver Stadium on this Saturday, a 13-6 Penn State lead. We talked about Perbula, his ability to scramble. Perbula with an excellent day today on the ground, threw just one pass, but 8 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Katron Allen gets to the edge, and he has Penn State down inside the 5-yard line. T formation, second and goal. Allen into the end zone for the second time today, and Penn State opens up a pivotal and crucial 2-score lead against Rutgers here on Senior Day at Beaver Stadium. And again, it was that defense. The defense in the second half for Penn State. KJ Winston jumps the route, and then the Nittany Lion offense able to put this game away. 20-6 the score here, late fourth quarter. Perbula finding Nicholas Singleton, dancing, juking, jiving his way down inside the 1-yard line. Then here, this is not the fumble Ruski, but it works out. Perbula scoops it up. He goes in. He scores. And Penn State a 27-6 lead. That is how it would wrap up here today on Senior Day at Beaver Stadium. Head coach James Franklin didn't forget his sweatshirt at home. He's got it on right there on a chilly day here at Beaver Stadium to wrap it up in front of another great crowd. 27-6 the final score. One last regular season game coming up at Michigan State. Ford Field, neutral site game at Michigan State on Friday. Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving. But 27-6, our final score here today. Thanks for tuning into our exclusive coverage here on the Unrivaled Postgame Show. Great work by Ross Woomer, our producer. Thanks to all of our guests as well, and everyone who's played a hand in this all season long from our content room here in the bowels of Beaver Stadium. We will talk to you this week with the Unrivaled Weekly Preview Show. We're going to have that for you on Tuesday, and then again, game coverage Friday after the game from Ford Field in Detroit. Penn State concludes its home slate, defeating Rutgers 27-6 today. I'm Brian Tripp saying so long from Beaver Stadium. Thanks for being with us. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.